Have you ever been to a tailgate party prior to attending a football game or other sporting event? Well, according to yourdailymedia.com, 80% of Americans tailgate on a regular basis. During these tailgates, a vast majority of people enjoy spending their time playing ladder ball, cornhole, washers, and other backyard games. According to Jane McGonigal, it is in our human nature to want to play games. She said, "We've been playing games since humanity had civilization. There's something primal about our desire and our ability to play games." Many of these games that we play at these tailgate parties require some sort of equipment. So I'm going to explain to you how to build a washerboard set for the game of washers so that you can bring some excitement to your next party or any other outdoor activity. By building this game yourself, you can save more than 50% of the cost versus buying at a retail store, and you can customize it to include your favorite team's logo or other themes that are unique to you and your group. The game of washers is closely related to the game of horseshoes. The official rules, according to bombatwashers.com, says that there are 2 to 4 players. There are 2 washerboards, each with 3 4-inch holes. They are arranged like a vertical stoplight. The holes have different point values, the closest one being 1 point, the second being 3 points, and the furthest being 5 points. Each player begins play by throwing 4 2.5-inch diameter washers at the washerboard that is 10 feet away from them. The goal is to be the first to 21 points. So, in order to build your washerboards, you first need to purchase your material. You will need 4 8-foot-long 2x4 studs, a 1/4 inch thick 4-foot by 8-foot sheet of plywood, a box of 50 2.5-inch wood screws, and an 18-ounce bottle of Gorilla Glue. You'll also need any paint or decorations that you'd like to add to your boards. All of the board dimensions that I'm about to mention can be found at Instructables.com. To begin building the washerboard, first measure and cut the 2x4 studs. You will need 4 4-foot pieces and 4 1.5-foot pieces. Next, you'll need to cut 2 pieces out of the plywood. These pieces need to be 4 foot long and 1 foot 9 inches wide. Once you have finished cutting, arrange 2 of the longer 2x4 and 2 of the shorter 2x4s like a rectangle. The two sides should be facing you or the table or the surface that you're working on. The longer pieces should go on the outside on all 4 corners. Next, use 3 screws on each corner to fasten the 4-foot pieces to the 1.5-foot pieces. Then, arrange the plywood where it is on top of the rectangle and is sitting flush on all 4 sides. Use 4 screws on each side, fastening the plywood rectangle to the 2x4 rectangle. Next, you need to cut 3 holes in the plywood. Each hole should be 4 inches in diameter. The hole should be centered between the long sides and placed at 4 inches, 28 inches, and 40 inches from the short sides. Once this step is complete, cut the carpet sheet in half to make 2 5-foot by 2.5-foot pieces. Then use the Gorilla Glue to glue one of the pieces of carpet down to the plywood. Make sure that the carpet is arranged so that it will cover the top and all 4 sides. For gluing to the sides, you may need to cut some slots in the corners of the carpet to ensure that it is laying down tight to the frame. Once the glue is dried, flip the boards over where the carpet is facing down. Use a knife to cut carpet in the sides of the holes into strips like a pie would be cut. Pull the strips from the center of the circle towards the inside of the board and glue them down to the inside of the plywood. When you have completed the assembly of the first board, repeat all of these steps for the second. Finally, when you have completed the second board, you're ready to add your own personal touch to them. Personally, I use maroon and white paint and a stencil to inscribe the A&M logo into my boards. However, this is the part of the project where you can use your own imagination to create your unique product. Just make sure that you use materials that will stand up to wear and tear of everyday use. So, to review the main steps in building your washboard, you will need to first purchase the carpet, lumber, screws, and glue. Second, you will need to cut the wood studs and fasten them to the plywood. Next, you will need to glue down the carpet and cut the holes appropriately. Finally, you will be ready to decorate your board using paint, stickers, or other decorative items that suit your preferences. By building this board yourself, you have been able to provide your family and friends with lasting entertainment. You will also save money and be able to add a personal touch versus buying the boards from a retail store. Thank you.